really high level. So I think they were just probably punking me all the other games before that. Because they just flipped the switch. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But if you're asking for a time, that one was, to me, noticeably when we became all of a sudden a really great defensive team.
Okay, we're gonna be working. And then we'll go to Callie next. At this point, I'm not sure what there is not to say about Asia. I don't know if you're also out of descriptors, but what I wondered was, in games, do you think that you are really able to appreciate her brilliance or no? Because you're like so locked into the game, like thinking the next play and.
I mean, yeah, I have two eyes. I can see, when she does stuff. Occasionally I'll look at the bench and be like, that was just filthy. But then it's on to the next play. You can't sit there, and linger in the greatness. You got to get on to the next play, and I got to make sure her ass is doing it right the next time. So it's my job to, coach, love on them, coach them up, tell them when they're great, be honest when they're not, and keep it pushing.
For her to hit 1,000 points and only have made 19 threes is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is there a comp to it? Like,
no. And I've tried to figure out one in the NBA too, and there's not really one.
the only thing I could think, and it's not a perfect comp, is if a kicker led the NFL in points only on extra points, never hitting field goals.
Well, that would be tough. Wow. Yeah.
But when
Yeah. Yeah, I had to digest that one for a second. I'm like, okay, extra point is worth one. Yeah. Listen, every year she comes back better. And I hate to tell you all this, but I told y'all if I played her, she would be averaging 28-13. I told y'all that last year. And her dumb coach, probably now she would have been sitting at 2K in 2 years had I played her. But she's just been so efficient.
Right.
For somebody who sees, and now we're putting her out in space where she's dribbling, playmaking more, bringing the ball off the bounce, even in, transition. Like to have that few turnovers is impressive too. Like when you look at her blocks, steals, assists, rebounds, obviously points, to have the kind of ratios that she does, take any one of those individual statistics and put it against her turnover is crazy. It's so good. I can't even explain it, how sure-handed she is with the ball. Getting double teamed, seeing crowds, dribbling as a post player. We're really, putting her in a lot of guard actions. She's just.
And isn't there an argument to be made that she's really just entering her prime? She just turned 28. Like, how much better can she get?
Yeah, well, you say that every year and she comes back better every year. So, I bet she comes back next year and her handle will be better. Her vision with passing will be better. Like little things, she'll block out more. No, kidding. No, she's, we'll see what she comes up with next. Everything I've thrown at her over the past few years of like, hey, we're going to do this. My first year was just expanding her game, getting her in space, clearing out the post area for her. Because, Bill had them playing with two traditional post players and, extending her range, working on that, finishing both hands. And now, she's mastered that. Now her footwork in the post is ridiculous. Now she's doing Euro steps, like splitting the defense. Shooting the three better. Yeah, so she just keeps adding. I don't know what she'll add. Maybe she'll start dunking or something. I don't know. I know she can.
She absolutely has a hop. No.
Yeah. I mean, there's some of her blocks where I'll pause it when I rewind it back, and the other person shooting in the air and her feet have not even left the ground. That's how quick she is on her spring. And her second jump might be quicker than her first jump, which is super scary. But her care of the ball, I mean, it's just off the charts, off the charts. Typically, when people handle the ball that much and shoot that much and just have the ball that much, you frequently lead the league in turnovers just because the volume of touches that you have. I don't know where she is in the league, but it's got to be low.
It is.
She's got one of those rooms. Kelly.
Hey, coach.
there.
Obviously, the Storm have been playing well, but they found themselves in a close one against the Wings on Friday. And I found some parallels in Noelle Quinn's post-game comments after that start and how you would talk about the Aces earlier this season. Like she was saying, they need to consistently find energy and urgency. And I'm just wondering for you, when you kind of look back to when that was a problem for the Aces, is there a clear turning point that stands out now that you guys are on the other end?
Yeah, the at Dallas loss, I felt was a turning point for us. You can ask them. I feel like that was the point though, because basically after that game, I've seen a different team defensively, a different kind of focus, a different kind of sense of urgency, a different kind of sense of care to get it right, to do it right, consistently right at a really high level. So I think they were just probably punking me all the other games before that. Because they just flipped the switch. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But if you're asking for a time, that one was, to me, noticeably when we became all of a sudden a really great defensive team, because we hadn't been for, the previous, 25 games, 25, 30 games, whatever it was.
Thank you. It's funny that you said that because now you have to play the Wings again in just one more game.
Yeah.
The guys, anything from you?
No, I'm good today.
All right. Can I ask you a couple more seconds?
Yeah.
Here. Early in the season, you guys are like trying to find your footing without Chelsea. And I do think outside of Asia that Kelsey has played pretty damn well all season. What has impressed you about her this year? Do you think she's been different at all? I mean, she's been an all-star for a while, but
I mean, I know Asia's had been having an exceptional year, but, our trio of guards, and you could throw in AC and Tip Hayes in there, and even Sydney Colson at times, has always been a separation factor for us. Plum specifically, because of her pace, how she plays, her ability to get to the rim and make rim reads and create for herself or create for her teammates is a huge factor for us. So her play, and really Jackie Young's play, both really impact our wins and losses. When they're good, we typically are good. That being said, I still feel like offensively our best games are still ahead of us. We haven't clicked on all cylinders yet on a night. Asia's been clicking on another planet.
right.
And then any given night, Plum will have 25 or
Right.
Jackie will have 25. But her, Jackie, and Chelsea, the way they complement each other, because they all have such a different skill set.
Mhm.
And so it's a really great combination when they're all clicking. And even at times too, putting Tiffany Hayes in there with Plum. I mean, we got 3 lefties out there at times, sometimes 4 if Meg is out there. And we gotta run things on the other side, or we gotta flip things around in our head. But it's really been cool to kind of see Plum kind of fit in with both groups. And then, don't forget she ran the point for us a lot.
Right.
At the beginning, her and Jackie kind of shared duties. And her pace in pushing the ball is really, really important for us.
How much do you think it helps too that her and Jackie especially had a lot of individual success in Paris, And I just felt like I've always loved Jackie. I think she's such a good player on both ends of the floor. But for them to have that type of success on that stage with that pressure, how much does that help when they come back here?
Oh, man. I mean, if you talk about pressure, I mean, Asia carried a huge load over there. Jackie working her way from basically the end of the bench
Right.
into a starting spot. Coach Reeves, you could see really started to value what she brought because at the end of the day, there's only one ball. And you got to have those players that are willing to give up the numbers and do whatever it takes to help you win. And I think you really saw Jackie evolve into that. Like, yeah, I'll guard the best player on the other team's, perimeter. Yeah, I'll pass it, even though they're all very capable scorers. And then, Chelsea led the team in assists. Plum for me, during that stretch, I thought it was just a great moment with her on the free throw line.
Mhm.
And I was up there watching and I'm just thinking, man, she's been here a million times in her head, but now it's here. And so I was super happy that it was her on the line because she likes those situations. And like I said, she's played that out.
She also had that little smile on her face.
Oh yeah. Cause she was like, as a player, when you're growing up and you're in your front yard and you're 8 years old and you're 9 years old, the Olympics is what you think about. You think about the games on the line, you have free throws, and you got to knock them down. And so that's why I said Plum had already been there a million times in her head, even though this was her first like live time with a gold medal on the on the line, to step up and hit those big shots. I was super proud of her, happy for her, and I just thought it was a cool moment. So they all kind of had these moments, Asia was just a beast the whole time. So anyways, it was really fun to see all four of them over there and be in that uniform that's so special.
I think I'm good. I'm gonna ask you some stuff post game that's not about your team.
Can't wait.
Thank you.
Yeah.